Good evening, everyone. Let's start today's class. So,
Good
before
evening.
starting today's class, yes, let us remember what we have done in our last class to dig our previous knowledge. Okay, so all of you were present in a class. Shudeep was there, Tanmay was there, Prateep was there, Angita, Ishika. I think all of you were present. Okay, and I already have had a word regarding the WhatsApp group. So we are arranging Google Chat for you. Okay, so just kindly download Google Chat, or maybe you will be added to the Google Chat group. So from where
Ma'am, I have not
you will be
received the
getting
email.
proper notifications, materials, and whatever problems you will be facing. You haven't, but you will be getting it shortly.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
don't worry. So, yes, there will be a Google chat room where we can discuss maybe after the class or some important points we need to focus on and stuff. Okay. So there will be a group in Google chat room. Fine. Okay. So it's my question to Ankita. Ankita, just tell me one point that you can remember from our previous day's class. Any one point. Excuse my voice because I am actually not well today. I'm really sorry for the
It's okay,
inconvenience,
ma'am.
but
Uh,
yes, thank you.
Yesterday you heard about
Any one
us.
point.
You you heard about us, our introduction, and
Mhm.
and
Anything remarkable, important, you already have noted down. Okay. The introduction part, fine. Sudeep, anything that you want to contribute to this question? What we have discussed about in our last class.
Incidental teaching.
Good, good. Incidental teaching was our topic. We have discussed about that. Yes, Prateep, any other point? Introduction is
Yes,
done.
ma'am.
Incidental teaching was
Ma'am, tongue twisters, poems.
right. We already have some tongue twisters and poems too. Okay, Tanmay, anything you remember from the last class?
Nothing else, ma'am. They already told everything.
Okay, so they already have said. There was, no point to remember except all these
Mm,
three. Anything you can remember? I already have told you about particular topic we will be discussing today. That is phonic sounds,
Phonic sound.
isn't it? Yes. Yes. Today we will be discussing about the phonic sounds. So, people, I think you all are okay with the concept incidental teaching. Is it clear to you? I hope it is. We will be discussing over that particular fact again today also. But we have discussed about the very basic principles of improving your spoken skill or spoken power. Fine. So today is the second phase of it, and phonic sounds is the base of this particular second phase. Okay. Acha. So before starting the class, I have 4 to 5 questions for you, and then maybe today you will be getting your assessment checklist as well. Acha. Mm. How many letters are there in English alphabet? How many letters? It's a very basic question, maybe grade 1 level.
then
Yes,
26,
Ankita.
26.
26.
26. Okay. 26. Yes, there are 26 letters found you can found in English alphabet. Okay. And do you think every single letter has only one sound? Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Do you think?
No.
That
No.
every single
No,
letter has
ma'am.
only one sound? No.
No, ma'am.
Yes, you are exactly and absolutely right. That is, there are various sounds we can found in these different alphabets. Okay, we can hear or pronounce A, the letter A, in various ways. The vowels A, E, I, O, U, and the consonants we can, we speak the all the letters as in A, as in B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. This is how we speak, but they actually don't sound like that. Okay, the sound of A is A. Okay, it's not A. We say A. Actually, there is two different sounds of A. One is A, one is A. We will be discussing on the variations, of course. But before that, let us learn about the very basic pronunciation or the sounds a single letter can make. Okay. The sound of A is A, as in ant. It's not int. Do we say int? No, right? We say it ant, apple, aeroplane. Right? We pronounce it like that. Ant, apple, aeroplane. So the sound, listen to me very, very carefully and minutely. The sound coming from A is A. So now after maybe A, B, C, D, E, I'll be telling you all the different sounds of A, B, C, D, and E, and then I'll ask you about the sounds and one examples you have to give it to me. Fine. The sound of B is not B, it's B. Okay? It's B. As in ball, as in book, as in basket. But B and A together, that makes a different sound again. So we will be discussing on the different sounds later on. But the basic is B. Okay, the sound of B is not B, it's just B. B for bat, ball. And the sound of C, excuse me, the sound of C is okay. It's not C. Sir is there. Of course, sir is there. But the basic pronunciation of the sound of C is k, as in cake. We call it cake and cake, but this is wrong. It's not. It's cake. Okay. Cake. It's k, not k. It's k. So the sound of A is A, as in apple. The sound of B is B, as in ball. The sound of C is K, as in cake. The sound of D is D, as in drum. Okay, as in drum. And the sound of E is E, E-H, E, as in egg. We don't call it egg. This is wrong. If we call it egg, it's wrong. It's egg. Eh. Okay. The sound of E is eh. So now I hope we are quite clear with all the different sounds from A to E. Now it's my turn to ask. Okay, let's start with Ishika. Unmute yourself and tell me all the
Yes.
sounds I already have discussed about and their proper pronunciation. Start
A,
from A.
A, for- A for as apple. B, B for ball. C, C for D for drum. E for egg.
Okay. I like the way you have providing your examples, but not only examples we will be needing, we need the sounds as well. Okay. Be very loud and clear and sound with whatever you are saying. Okay. It's A. That means A. It's not A. It's A. As in
A.
apple. As in A. Very
Apple.
good. Okay. Or another you can say that is A. The sound of A
A.
is A. As in apple. Okay. B. The sound of B is B. B.
B.
Join your lips and try
B.
to, yes, B.
B.
And the
B.
example will be ball. Ball.
B.
We will be pronouncing it with
Ball.
our lips. Ball. Good. We don't take proper care when we pronounce, we just pronounce it randomly, but this is not the way how we can learn the proper pronunciation and sound of any single letter or word. Before learning any language, we need to get into its nerves. So that is why the proper sound and its effects are very, very important. Fine. So A is A, apple.
A.
B is B,
Apple.
ball.
Ball.
C is,
C.
that means
C.
cake. Cake. It's cake.
C.
Give me a cake. Okay. Not
Cake.
k. Sometimes C make a k sound, but its basic sound is k. D is for d. Drum,
Drum.
door.
Drum.
Okay. And E is for eh. EH,
A.
eh. There are few hand movements. Okay, hand movements, and there is also one term that is called arm blending. We will be doing it maybe on the next class. But before that, you just need to hear and learn the sounds I am discussing about. Okay, Shika, thank you so much. Now it's time for Prateep. All the 5 sounds and their pronunciation.
Is one. A stands for A, and the example will be and.
And, and,
Yes, and yes. B sounds
right?
for B,
Stands for. Yes, B
yes,
stands for B.
B, and the example will be base.
Base. Okay. Base. Next.
C stands for K, K, cat.
Got. Right. Got. Cat. Okay.
D stands for drama,
Drum. Yes, right.
drama,
Drama.
drama. Yes,
Drama.
and
Drum.
E stands for U, and
Sure.
Europe,
Very nice
Europe.
example. Europe. Yes, right. Europe. And here we are. U is not exactly the sound we are actually mentioning about here, but we are taking the sound of E as E, like egg. E, you can use it as
A,
U, yo, and also E. Okay. You can have 3 different sounds coming out from the word, the letter E. Okay, thank you so much. There is also one very magical thing about this E that is called magic E. I'll introduce this fact to you as well. But this is the very base of the sounds. Okay, Tanmay, your turn. All the 5 sounds and example. Start.
Ma'am, A is
And yes,
A example apple and or B example ball. C
tell me the
and
sounds. Sound of A. The
A
sound
sound
of
like
A.
tie
Okay, good. Next.
and C sound B sound for the
B sounds like B. Okay, C.
C sounds like example cat.
D.
D sounds dog. Example
And
dog.
E.
Mm,
E sounds like E sound like A. U. Yo. Okay. A is fine. Okay. Shudip, Have you said? Yes, all the sound. Have you said?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am. A sounds for like apple, and B sounds like like ball, bat, and C sounds like cake, and D sounds like
Duh,
forgot it. The
duh,
like how dog is pronounced.
dog, dog, duh.
Okay, ma'am. And E
Okay.
sounds like A, like elephant.
Okay. So now we are quite accustomed with all the five sounds coming from the letter E, A, B, C, D, and E. So there is more letters F, G, H. The sound of F is okay coming out from your lips. G is G, 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 and J, J, J. Both sounds can come from the letter G, G or J. H is you can use your hand and you can find a hot wind coming out from your mouth. That is the sound of H. Hat, hat, hot. Okay, happy. That is the sound coming out from H. There is very simple nursery rhymes with which you can easily
Ma'am,
remember. Yes, Pradeep.
ma'am, can you repeat the G?
Yes, it's G or J, 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 J. The sound of giraffe. Okay, as in giraffe. Or फिर G, giggle. Okay, glide, girl. The very simple example, girl. Okay, so these are the sound coming out from G. And F, I said F. And also H. That is H. Fine. So there are few simple little songs, very small, like the tongue twister you are having last day. So we are having very simple little phonic songs. With the help of it, you can remember that actually is very kiddish. But if you really learn something, you can go through it. As in the sound of A, there's a little song, and it's like that. Eh, eh, ant in my arms, eh, ant in my arms, ant in my arms, they're causing me alarm. So with there are a little song for B, C, D, E, F, G till Z. We are having very simple little songs to remember every single sound and their proper usage. Okay. So, in today's class, we will be discussing till the sound of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There are various, subtopics of the following topics we are talking about, and we won't be leaving no stone unturned to learn how to speak. So, we will be discussing all the subtopics as well. Okay, subtopics I'll be discussing with you that is except the basic sound. What are the other sound any letter can make? There are 42 sounds. Maybe 26 letters are there, but the whole number of phonic sounds are 42. Okay. 26 letter can make 42 different sounds, and that is the base of our English pronunciation. And that is the very, very base of our proper spoken English. Okay. If your pronunciation is correct, if your grammar is correct, and if you are able to make very simple but correct sentences, so nobody can stop you from improve your skill and enhancement of your skill. Okay. So we have learned about the sound of A, the sound of B, the sound of C. Look, it's like a train. We call it a train, but does it uh, is the sound of a train seems like train? No, there's sound like chick, 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 chick. Engine. The sound is different. Okay, but the term is called train. In case of all the letters, name of the letters are A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on, but they make very, very different sounds. Okay. So I hope that you can remember the sound of A, B, C, D, E and F and G and H we already have discussed about. Acha, I. The sound of I is I itself, as in ice cream. Okay, ice. The sound of I is I itself, ice, ice cream.
Ma'am, can
Okay,
we get all this thing in written?
yes, sure. I'll be sharing a PDF with you. Let me make one PDF. Actually, as I'm not properly well today, so I didn't get the time to create a PDF for you. But I am having it with me. I'll share the PDF with you with every single sound and how they pronounce. Okay. But moreover, it's rather than reading, it's all about practicing. Okay. The more you will be speaking of the sound, the more you will be able to learn the sound. Okay. Book maybe will be a helpful tool for you here, but rather than book, you have to practice it orally. Okay, that is called oral drilling. The more you will be reading, pronouncing it again and again, all the skills of yours will improve. And today, after all the sounds, we will be discussing about a very basic skill to develop your speaking power, that is LSRW. Maybe I already have discussed about that particular line in our last class. That is LSRW. You can note it down if you want to. L for listening, S for speaking, R for reading, and W for writing. And for speaking power, we need to concentrate on all the four particular skills. Okay, LSRW: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In that way, you can learn any language and can speak, can read, can listen, and can write about it. Any single thing. Fine. Okay, Jyotirmai, tell me the sound of F. Kindly unmute yourself. Yes, F.
Fox.
Example,
Fox.
fox. That is okay, but not the way we are making f. Give some other example.
Pen. Fish.
Yes, f.
Fish.
F. This is the sound. Okay, that is fridge. You can say frog. You can say fine. Fine. You can say fine. Acha. Thank you. Ankita, tell me the sound of G.
He sounds like G and J.
Hmm.
Uh,
Example.
examples are G, Google, and J, giraffe.
Good. That is Google or giggle. Giggling means laughing out loud. Okay. And also
Yes, ma'am.
giraffe. Yes, right. Thank you so much. So, Pratik, how
Welcome,
many
ma'am.
sounds we already have covered up yet? We have discussed about how many sounds till now?
Till to I think.
Till
Up to
I.
I.
Okay.
Yes.
Till I. Right. So now, uh, let's start with a simple assessment checklist. I'll be giving you one single word, and you have to tell me the sound of this particular word. Okay. You have to tell me the sound of this particular words. Okay, let's start with Shudeep. Girl. Tell me the sound of G here. Girl.
Ma'am, G.
G. Good. Acha. Jyotirmai. Tell me cake. Tell me the sound of C.
Ka.
K. It's not K, it's K.
Ka. Ka.
Maybe you have seen the movie My Name is Khan from the nostrils. So you have to use it from the nostrils only. Okay. It's K,
Ka.
not K. Fine. Yes. Okay. Tanmay, your word is mm, children. That is a difficult one. Children. What is the sound of C
Sure.
here in this particular word? Children.
It's like cha.
It's like ch. Because it's not only C that is making the sound, it's CH together. That is called a digraph. Okay, when two sounds together make a single sound, that is called a digraph. Okay, so these are the subtopics we definitely will focusing on to. But basically, the sound of C here is ch, not k. Okay, thank you. Pradeep, your sound is dramatic. What is the sound of D here? Dramatics.
The, the,
D. Okay, thank you. Ankita, what is the sound
Yes,
of
ma'am.
accurately? Accurately.
Accurate. A. Accurate. A.
Ah, very good. The sound of A here is A. Accurately. The word is accurately. Fine. Ishika, what is the sound of information of I? The sound of I in information. What is the sound of I in information?
Info.
The sound of I itself is I only, as in information, as in ink. Okay, ink. I. I sounds like I only here. Okay. So I think till I we are clear with all the sounds, how they pronounce. So there are few more sounds left, and we will be discussing it in our next class. The other sound and their proper pronunciation, and then there are topics like digraphs, there are topics like use of E and how two different letters by sitting together make a complete different sound. Okay, so I hope the very basic phonics I already have started with you, and now I need to know your feedback. So Pradeep, how how much you have enjoyed or you have understood the phonic sounds?
is my I have enjoyed a lot.
Okay, you have enjoyed a lot. Okay, Sudeep, you enjoyed the phonic sounds?
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
make you all learn this every single rhyme. So today maybe I'm not telling you to learn the rhyme, but don't you think that I won't be asking you to learn the rhyme? Okay, every single letter has different rhymes, and we all will be learning every single rhyme for every single letter. Okay, thank you. So now let us continue with our next phase of the day. Okay, here I would like to share my screen. Just a second. I hope my screen is visible to you now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay, just a second. Okay. So here we will be talking about all this. Okay. Let's talk about English. So we will be talking about particular conversation cards. These are our conversation goals. How we can converse with each other. After learning the sounds, we need to converse with each other. So I'll be calling out with your names and you will be telling me few questions I'll be asking you. So maybe Pradeep, I can start with you. So my basic question to you is, why are you learning English? Just give one or two reason and explain.
Yes, ma'am. The main thing is that English is an international language. So if I want to
Mhm.
communicate with another people from various countries, I need to learn English. And because
No.
they in
Because
ma'am,
they,
I am audible.
yes, yes, completely.
Because Europeans ruled the earth once a time, and English became the most popular language then. Because
Okay. So that is why you need to learn English because it's a kind of linking language breach and the most spoken, the
yes,
most used language for communication. Okay, thank you so
yes.
much. Now, next, Ankita, kindly unmute yourself. What do you
Yes, ma'am.
find difficult when learning English? What do you find difficult when learning English? What
Um,
is difficult? I mean, what seems very difficult to you?
Bengali is my mother tongue, so I can
Mhm.
easily speak and understand the language. But English is a second language.
Okay.
We are not practicing the language, and we have a fear that we can't be able to speak or to write English. So the main difficulty is the main difficulty is to understand the rules of English.
Okay, so the main difficulty is the rules. So your question has its answer of its own because so how you can remember the rules or you can, you know, maybe overcome your difficulties by learning the grammar. Okay, the grammar. That are the basics. You can improvise yourself by learning the grammar or the rules of English language so that this basic difficulty you may overcome. Okay, thank you so much. Next,
Okay, ma'am.
Jyotirmai. Yes, thank you so much. Lovely answer. Well, your question is where in the
Thank you, ma'am.
world where in the world is English spoken as a first language? Do you know? This is very common. I mean, very much common. The answer is where in the world is English spoken as a first language? Anyone else, if you want to unmute yourself, you can unmute yourself and tell me the answer. Sudeep, you can try.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
UK.
United Kingdom.
Not in UK only, but all the European countries. Basically
Yes,
in
ma'am.
Europe, but you know, maybe you'll be amazed by learning that fact. India is also in the list. We speak almost uh, in every nook and corner you can find the English language, the use of English language used in India. Okay, so India is also in this particular list. Now, my next question, whoever wants to answer, kindly unmute yourself and tell me the answer. How often do you speak English? And what do you talk to? How often you do speak English? And what do you talk to? Um, anyone who wants to answer?
Ma'am, ma'am, it's very less.
Okay, sure. Hello, dear. Tell me the answer. How often do you speak English? Who do you talk to?
Not so often, but sometimes we watch YouTube videos like tech videos in English or dubbed
Mhm,
cartoons, etc.
mhm. So you
But
speak English, not like
not so
always,
often.
but you listen
Uh,
to it, right? Every single
yes,
day
ma'am.
by the help of YouTube videos, dubbed cartoons, and if you need to speak out with the language, whom do you talk to? You talk to your parents, your friends, whom?
Mainly friends.
Mainly friends. Okay. So as it's not our native language, we choose not to talk in English in our daily lives. So that is where you make the biggest mistake. If possible, kindly use very simple instruction and very simple English that we learn already, you have learned till now in your regular basis, like water. Or if you can start thinking in English, you can easily speak up in English as well. Okay, so for that, you need to include English in your daily lives as well. Okay, while speaking to your parents, use the magical words like sorry, thank you, please, excuse me. So, this will be very much beneficial for all of you to improve your vocab, improve your skill, improve your practice of speaking of English. Okay, so my next question is, do you think it is more important to speak fluently or without mistake? That's a very controversial question, and this is a very nice question. And if you think yes or no, and whatever your option might be, why? Do you think it is more important to speak fluently or without mistake?
Yes,
And
ma'am. Definitely.
why?
No,
Yes,
I think without mistake.
without mistake. Very good. Yes,
I,
fluently,
I think
being fluent is, yes, sure, sure, bolo.
when it comes to conversation, I think fluently is more necessary than mistakes.
Okay, and why? If it is your answer, of course, then why? Explain.
Mm, because some European people
Explain.
think
You
Indian
must have
accent
like
is
one or two explanation for your answer.
mainly like European people think Indian accent is pretty weird and it's
No,
pretty
nobody thinks
embarrassing.
in. It was maybe you are talking about in 80s, but not now. Nobody thinks like that, dear. Okay, it's not about that. Fluency and accuracy both are needed. Okay, both is equally important. Fluency and accuracy both are equally important. So you need to speak fluently as well as without any mistake. But it's more important if you make less mistakes. Fluency is, of course, that will bring you confidence, that will give you proper, uh, the niche to teach the language, to learn the language, to speak the language. But maybe you are completely grammatically wrong and no sentence you can make. So the fluency may not be very helpful in your further go. Okay, so accuracy and fluency both is very, very important, and they work like hand in hand. Okay, my last question for today, do you ever read in English? That was my question in our previous class as well. Do you read in English? If
Yes,
so,
ma'am. A
what
lot.
do you
A
read?
lot.
If not, why not?
A lot, ma'am.
Everyone will be answering this question.
Yes,
Unmute
ma'am.
yourself one by one and answer. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I read a lot.
Yes, ma'am. I have read.
Okay. You are a student of English, honors and masters. You should read. Of course, we and anymore. I have heard only two people talking, and the other. What about others? Do you ever read in English? If so, what do you read? And if not, why not? If not, why not? So, I am back here again with you all. So, uh, I have asked you all to read the newspaper if possible daily, or at least 5 pages, because you are all grown ups, not uh, primary level, pre primary level, or some high school level kids. You are all grown up. So, read 5 pages daily. At least a 5 pages reading will help you a lot. Okay, read 5 pages. Books, I already have told you that I'll be discussing about you. This is a very simple, very, very simple book. That is Harry Potter. Okay, you can start reading with this book, as you are all the BCA students and every students of higher studies. So you can start with this book. This is a very basic first part of Harry Potter series, and it's very famous. You all know that. So just reading out 5 pages of this book is very, very good. And also there is another good book, that is read along stories. These are for kids, but it will be, or it can prove its worth for you as well. It can be very, very, very much helpful for you. Okay. To learn the words, the spelling, the pronunciation. Okay. And there is another book. Kokakura's Loud Love, the last book was. And this is Day or Night. Rainforest animals are busy. Okay. Busy day, busy night. And The Princess Wizard. You can have this book as well. Or or if you do not have anything, just read your silk course book, at least 5 to 6 pages a day. Maybe books from your BCA syllabus, and maybe books from your physics, chemistry, maths, bio, whatever you have had in your 12th or 10th. Okay. But a daily reading of 5 pages is very, very important for all of you. Okay. Now let's go for our next topic. Okay, so last day we have had discussed about incidental teaching. Okay, and we also have discussed about the tongue twisters as well. Today we will be discussing about the systematic teaching. I already have mentioned the name, but I haven't went through the details and stuff. But today we will be going with the details as well. I'll be reading out. Listen to me very, very carefully, and then, as you know, the moment I finish, I will be asking you questions, and you have to answer. Systematic teaching. Children need a solid general framework of grammatical understanding and skills to support their learning across the curriculum. To provide this framework, you may want to teach certain grammatical elements in a systematic way. The assessment checklists provide in each level of good grammar indicate the grammatical elements that students should understand by the end of each level. The checklist can be used to program your systematic teaching and to record children's achievement. Okay. So now my first question is, what do you mean by the term systematic teaching? What does the term signifies to all of us? What do you mean by the word systematic teaching? Tanmay, my first question is for you. What do you mean by the word systematic teaching?
Ma'am,
What, anything you understand, anything. You can simply
ma'am, what
decode the word as well, systematic teaching. Excuse me. No?
My pass.
ma'am,
Pass. Yes. Anyone else? You can raise your hand.
A framework to teach grammar to the children.
It
ma'am,
actually it is
systematic way.
the system of teaching grammar systematically with proper rules and regulation and norms like to the children. Okay, Sudeep, your input on systematic teaching.
Ma'am, teaching in a systematic way.
Teaching in a systematic way. And what we are teaching in a systematic way?
Ma'am, now
What is the
English
topic?
grammar or rule.
English, grammar, and rules. Okay, Ankita, is assessment is needed for systematic teaching?
Yes, the assessment is very important. So we can understand, or the teacher can understand what is the level of students.
Yes, very good. Assessment or evaluation is very, very important in after every single topic, because that is how a teacher gets a clear idea about the students' overall development or the cognitive development of the students. Fine, thank you. Okay, Ishika, um, do you think we need to maintain a daily checklist for learning our English or improving our English skill? Do we need to maintain a daily checklist? Yes or no?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No. Okay. If yes, then why? And if no, then why? If yes, then why? And if no, then why? You said no, but why don't you think that we may maintain a, assessment checklist for every single task we perform every day? Tell me the reason. Hmm?
No, ma'am.
Acha, okay. Anyone else? Jyotirmai, do we need to maintain a assessment checklist for our teaching? If so, why? Yes, I'm waiting for your answer. Tell me whether we need to maintain one assessment checklist or not. Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No. Acha. Then why not? The word assessment checklist means whatever we are learning, we need to put a tick. So when we go for a field trips, okay, field trip, or maybe somewhere we are going for a party, maybe school, maybe exam, we have to maintain one assessment checklist every day. Assessment checklists are very, very important. Okay, checklists you are having, if you are having it with you, that are very much helpful to evaluate, okay, how and what you have learned throughout the day. So you can use the assessment checklist for every single part of your learning. Okay, it may maths, it may English, it may some other subject, it may some skill. Assessment checklists are very important. Checklist means maybe you are adding 4 to 5 points where you will be putting a tick. That okay, understanding done, creating done, thinking part done. Um, I can make or I can pronounce. I have learned. My learning outcome is completely perfect, done. So checklist is a very, very important in systematic teaching. That makes your learning in a very systematic way. Okay. If I call it like A, C, B, D, F, G, H, I, Z, X, Y, how does it look? How does it sound? It's very much unorganized. But if I arrange it in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H in a proper particular order, that is very, very important for us. Okay, that help us to organize our work in a very systematic way. So I hope the concept of systematic teaching is very clear to all of you. And we need to maintain one assessment checklist. I would like to ask all of you to maintain your assessment checklist for the class. And I'll ask you uh, the next day what assessment checklist, what are the points you have all have added for your assessment checklist that maybe you are getting from this class, or you think you should improve, or you think you should create. Okay, so this is your task that you need to make every single assessment checklist for this class. Okay, now it's time for me to get the homeworks. I already have asked all of you to learn or to prepare at least a poem of 6 lines, and also I have given you one tongue twister, and that you will be telling me within 10 seconds, and a poem, right? So let's start with
Yes,
Ankita.
ma'am.
Ankita, tell me one
Yes, ma'am.
poem of 6 lines. Yes. And the tongue twister.
Um, Dreams, Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes, uh, his full name was Jane Marshall Langston Hughes. He was born on 1st February 1902 in Joplin, Missouri, USA, and died on 22nd May 1967 at the age of 65 in New York. He was a great American poet, playwright, a social worker, and an important figure of the Harlem Renaissance. He earned
Perfect.
his his BA degree from Lincoln University in 1929. In 1926, he won a Victor Biner Undergraduate Poetry Award. Perhaps this is his first award. Dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, wonderful. Acha, next, Pradeep, your poem and
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
The poem is Daffodils that you have mentioned last times. So the poem is by written by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over the vales and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees, uh, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Six line I have.
Beautiful. Very, very nice. Okay. So, everything is perfect that you have learned it at home and you have mentioned the name of the poet and everything you talk about the poem. But, I need to guide you here about your pronunciation. You said E-I-S. It has to be is.
Is
Z. Okay. Yes, it has to be is all the time. Okay, we are learning
yes,
phonic sounds. Maybe we'll improve our pronunciation as well. But it has to be. Rest is wonderfully done. This is very, very good. But it has to be is. Okay, the sound is not anything else but is. Fine. Okay, Tanmay, thank you so much. Tanmay, yes, your
Yes,
poem and your contribution.
ma'am. The road not taken by Robert Frost.
Very beautiful poem. Road not taken. Yes.
Two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long as I stood. It's something like that. Okay, and look down and one as far as I could to hide its bend in the um, undergrowth.
Then, okay,
Um,
so
it's
whenever you will
something
be
like
telling a poem, that is nice that you have actually had your homework. That is wonderful. But whenever you will be telling a poem, it has to be very much, you have to utter or recite it with lots of confidence. Whenever we are telling a poem, we need to actually recite it with lots of confidence. That is why we need to get the poem. Okay, to improve, build our confidence level. Anyway, thank you. It's really nice, but we need to practice more. We will be continuing and looking forward to more practice sessions for us. But this is wonderful. Okay, next. Thank you. Jyotirmai, your poem and a little recitation of the poem. Kindly unmute yourself if you're there in the class. So unmute yourself so that we can hear your beautiful voice. Yes. Any poem that you have prepared for our class today? Is there any? Okay. And if
No, ma'am.
no, then kindly prepare it. I'll hear it from you on the next
Yes.
class. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Sudeep,
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
your turn. Yes.
Ma'am, today I'm going to read a poem written by Rabindranath Tagore
Oh,
called
sure.
Feel. Rabindranath
Wow.
Tagore, there is nothing to say about him. We have been
Mhm.
reading his writings in Bengali or English literature since childhood. He was the
Mhm.
first non-European to ever win a Nobel Prize. Free love.
Sure.
By all means, they try to hold me secure who love me in this world. But it is otherwise with thy love which is greater than theirs, and thou keepest me free. Lest I forgot them, they never venture to leave me alone. But day passes by after day, and thou art not seen. If I call not thee in my prayers, if I keep not thee in my heart, thy love for me still waits for my love. Okay, ma'am.
Great. Very, very good. But also there is what? What is needed? The proper pronunciation is needed. That lacks, but every other thing is very, very good. Okay. And now this is time for our tongue twister. So let's start with that as well. Ankita, start with the tongue twister. We have practiced. Yes.
Ma'am, ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for
Beautiful,
ice cream.
beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice. Thank you. Next,
Thank you
Prateep.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Prateep, yes, your tongue twister.
Yes, ma'am. Seashells, seashells by the seashore, by the shells, seashells are surely seashells. Seashells,
Continue.
seashells by the seashore, by the shells, seashells are surely seashells. Seashells,
Mm-hmm.
seashells by the seashore, by the shells, seashells are surely seashells. Seashells by the seashore, by the shells, seashells are surely seashells.
Okay.
Seashells by the seashore, by the shells, seashells are surely seashells.
Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Wonderful. Ishika, your tongue twister, please.
Ma'am, tell everyone to open their camera.
Yes, everyone. Kindly do that. Otherwise, whom am I talking to? Howrah Bridge. A beautiful picture of Jyotirmai, a cat, some
They
red
are
heart
they
sign,
can be cheating.
and some. Yes, they can cheat. They can. Yes, Ishika, kindly. Yes, unmute yourself. Okay, fine.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
better. It's lovely to see all the wonderful faces. Okay, now your tongue twister. Time for your tongue twister. We are having only 2 minutes left for the class. So just kindly. Tongue twister that we have practiced.
Shells,
Tell me.
shells, shells. But shells are served seashells.
Okay. Jyotirmai, your tongue twister. Again, all the cameras are off. Turn your cameras on, everyone. Jyotirmai, unmute yourself. Maybe you are not there with us in our last class, right? So that is why maybe you are maybe having a little issue with all the homeworks. So we are having two homeworks here. You have to tell me one poem, at least of 6 lines, a minimum of 6 lines, maximum of maybe 12 or 15 or 20 or maybe 750. And you have to pronounce a tongue twister that will improve your, speaking quality. Okay, Tanmay, tongue twister time. Yes.
Seashells by the seashore, but the seashells are surely seashells by the seashore, but the seashells surely seashells by the seashore, but the seashells are surely seashells
Okay.
by the seashore,
By the
but the shells,
seashore.
but the seashells are surely seashells.
Okay. Fine. It's not she. It's not the way you pronounce she. It has to be she. Repeat after me. It's she. Repeat. Sheep. Bolo. Sheep.
Sheep,
No sheep. It's sheep. Bolo sheep.
Sheep.
Good. The way you are speaking, no, that is very common. That is called mother tongue influence. But if we want to speak properly, we should remove, at least put aside our mother tongue influence so that a proper pronunciation, sound clear, loud, we can hear of. Okay. It has to be she. She sells seashells by the seashore, but the cells she sells are surely seashells. Okay. Fine. I am having like a wonderful batch. Everyone is very much sincere. They have prepared their homework, done their, job, research, everything. Fine. So for you, next day's homework is to make one assessment checklist. At least 5 points or elements or inputs you have to mm, mention or include their assessment checklist. What do you understand by the word assessment checklist, and why assessment checklist is very, very important for you all for this class? Okay, that is going to be my question, and we will be discussing
Can you
about
tell
other
some
facts
points?
as
How
well.
can we do it?
Sure.
Some points.
As in assessment, sure, of course, sure. Look, how you can create your assessment. Have you created timetable ever in school? Daily routine
Yes, yes,
timetable.
yes.
So there must be assessment checklist consisting of the first thing, maybe your pronunciation. There must be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 grade scale. You have to create, write down 1 point pronunciation. Mark yourself. Then where you are standing. Maybe you can standing in number 1 or 2 or 3. Scale yourself. After 7 days, you will assess yourself once again. Okay, that whether you have improved your skill yourself from 1 to 2 to 3 or 4 or 5. Okay,
Ma'am, in
it
terms of
assessment.
the spoken English or in terms of grammar or in everything?
Yes. In terms of spoken English first, then grammar and everything, or you can use the assessment for 5 points like that. First, use the point pronunciation. Second, use the point grammar. Third, use the point confidence. Fourth, use the point vocabulary. Fifth, use the point punctuation marks. Like that.
Mm.
Okay. At least 5 points you will be adding to your assessment checklist, and make it like 1, 2, 3, 4. Mark it like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll be sharing my PDF with you on the
And
next
I have to
class
give the
about.
number one from 1 to 10.
Yes, you will be giving number all by yourself. I'll ask you that
Okay.
where you are finding yourself. Okay, you are giving point to, you can cheat maybe, but don't cheat, please. Give a proper judgment to yourself that where you are standing and from where you need to pave your path. Okay, so that is the way you will be able to improve yourself and assess yourself where improvement is needed. Okay, so for a wholesome learning. Understood, everyone? Okay, thank you so
Yes.
much. That is it for today. That is my time, and I'll see you on the next class. Maybe I am hoping to get all the homeworks and more students to join the class and to make it a very, very, very fruitful one. Okay, chalo. See you all. And whatever queries and questions you are having, you can drop it in the Google chat box. Okay, you will be getting your answers there. Fine. Thank you so much, everyone. Good
Thank you, ma'am.
night.
Good night,
Thank
ma'am.
you,
Take
host.
care of yourself
You
and take
can
care.
end the class. Thank you so much.
Good night, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Thank
Sure.
you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes.
And take care of your health and get well.
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you. Host, kindly end the class. Thank you.